Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. I have been traveling. I was home. I say home. I was back in Philadelphia, where I'm from, visiting family this weekend. So I'm just getting back into my routine here in Florida. It is super, super hot. As you know, everybody talks about it like we're surprised each year, but it's very hot in Florida right now. So kind of laying low and staying cool. We tend to treat summer in Florida the way that we treated winter in Philadelphia. We kind of hibernate a bit. I go out for my walk in the evening now instead of the morning because it's a little bit cooler. I can't really say cooler, but a little bit cooler. So today's topic is supporting our salon owner. So I know a lot of you here on my coffee chats are booth renters, solo suite operators. Some of you have home salons, she shed type salons. So there's all different people who follow the coffee chat. But today is really about the true commission salon owner that has staff. It is not for the faint of heart. I have been doing it since 1989. And when I say that out loud, it sounds crazy to me, but that's a very long time and it is not easy. I will never, ever, ever, you'll never hear me say salon ownership is easy. I have a lot of passion for it. That's why I'm still here, even after COVID and all of the things that life has thrown at us. Our salon is still thriving. And I can say that confidently. It is thriving. It's very successful. We are busy all the time, but it is not by accident. It is by design. So something that I have experienced as a solo salon owner, I've never had a partner. I've never had, profit sharing or any of those things. It was just on me, always on my shoulders to keep every staff member busy, trained, motivated, rewarded, all of the things. And I would love to say that at the end of the rainbow and when you frolic off into retirement and lay on the beach or whatever retirement looks like to you, I wish I could say that happens, but it doesn't. I, again, have been doing this since 1989, and I personally know two out of all the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've known in the industry that have successfully sold their business for a really nice profit and truly walked off with income. I was told many years ago, I went to the Redken Summit, which is an excellent program. I would never say anything negative about it. However, it was working so well for us that we were training people quicker than we could have a chair for them. And it got to the point where the next step in the summit, trajectory would be open another location. I had already had 2 locations. That was more than enough. I did not like having multiple locations. So for me, it was, okay, start going down the road of exit strategy because I knew I wanted to do this, what I'm doing now. I wanted to teach. I wanted to pay it forward. I wanted to take my career in a different direction. So when you do the summit system, they talk about the exit strategy being over either a 5 or 10-year period of your choice. And it involves talking to staff members who are your higher level income producers to give them a path to success, to offer them to start buying into your business. It sounded wonderful and it was amazing on paper. On paper, I would go off into the sunset my plan was 5 years at the time, in 5 years. And in summit terms of the trajectory that they played out on paper, it would equal to $1 million. And I was like, sign me up for that. I've worked my little hiney off for a really long time. I would love to have $1 million payout at the end. So I went through all the motions and I had someone interested and I took her to the training with me and we did the whole thing and everything was going really well until it wasn't. I sat down with her at lunch and I said, okay, it's time. I'm ready. It's the 5-year window. I'd love for you to start slowly buying into the business to take over so that I can do other, see other projects through that I'm more passionate about right now. And she sat at the table, looked across from me and said, when we went for that training and I listened to everything, everything sounded great. But when you travel, which I love to travel, when you travel and I am in charge, I am counting down the hours until you get back so that I can go back to just being behind the chair. No offense, but I don't want to be you. I see how hard you work and I don't want that for myself. And I was like, okay, that was like a punch in the gut. And I appreciated her honesty and transparency that she said, I really love working in this salon. I don't ever want to work in another salon. So if you end up selling your business to somebody else, that's the only time I would ever leave. Like, I want to be here, but I don't want to own it. I was like, okay. So fast forward, I wanted to still move. So I talked to my daughter and said, this is a great opportunity for you. You've already run and managed a yoga studio. Business is business. You're managing people. It's the same thing. You've grown up in the industry. How about you give it a try and see what you think? She ran the salon for the last 5 years. She endless conversations. Mom, how did you do this? How did you do hair and run the salon and be my mom and deal with homework and packing lunches and all of the things? And I'm like, that's why I'm crazy. You call me crazy, but I've earned my crazy from doing this. I can't even list how many people I have hired and trained right out of beauty school who are now amazingly successful six-figure stylists. And I'm proud of that. But I've got the war wounds. I've got a lot going on in my body from stress of doing all of those things. And there is no support system. Yes, there's business coaches. Yes, there are, random classes in a big, huge hair show that one class will cater to the owner. One out of 400 options in the booklet is for the actual owner. So we decided, in partnership with My Salon Concierge, Expert Color Solutions and My Salon Concierge, have decided to team up and bring together people that we love in the industry that are here for you, cheering you on every second and understanding what it's like to wear the owner hat and be the leader and be responsible for everyone. So we're doing a virtual event. It is July 28th from noon to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we did it noon, so our West Coast people don't have to get up too early. And we did it on a day that most people we think will be able to make it. So July 28th, 12 to 5. If you are a commission salon owner with 2 or more employees and you are looking to make your life easier, automate some of your systems, have the support that you have been longing for, this is the event for you. If you are a booth renter, it's not that you're not welcome, but it's just a different conversation. Commission salons really need our support right now, me being one of them. There is so much going on in the industry, and there has been so much change just in the last 5 years, really 4 years. It was really right when the pandemic hit. So many people that had been hanging by a thread in their businesses, not being profitable for a very long time, paying their staff and not paying themselves. When you have a business, there's times when you have to pay your staff and you get nothing. And people don't believe. They're like, how is the salon stay open if you don't pay yourself? It's that you're paying all of the bills and the staff and the advertising and the support and the insurance and all of the things to make sure that everyone else still has a job where there's nothing left for you as the owner. And you start to borrow and then you have to pay back those loans. So then you still don't pay yourself. So it's not easy. And when I was getting ready, every week when I think about what I'm going to talk about, I was just randomly scrolling on Instagram. And it's crazy how God, universe, whatever you call what your higher power belief is, my ideas and my topics just appear for me always. I just was on my phone and I was like, what do I want to talk about this week? And then I was like, oh, we have that event. So I want to talk about something salon owner related. And I don't know if my phone just hears me, because I know that happens with iPhones and technology. But all of a sudden, every post on this one day was struggling salon owners begging for help and support. So I want to share those with you. This was literally right in a row on my phone. So the first one, has anyone left the salon world to work somewhere else and gone back to it? I'm currently looking for remote jobs to be home with my kids before closing my salon doors. I feel lost and terrified. All I know is the salon world. So, what do I do? Do I have to go to college to become something else? There's this gut wrenching feeling of this isn't paying me enough. I need to survive. But my world and my passion and my experience is the salon world. This person wants help. They're asking for ideas on how they can manage to be at home and be a good mom and also be in the salon. And it's hard. There's so many times that I gave up things with my kids because I had an amazing husband who was home being with them, making sure they had a parent with them. There's a lot of sacrifice. I look back and I think about the women that I've looked up to in my life, like strong, powerful women in business. And most of them don't have children. And if they do have children, it was like my setup where the husband was more the stay at home dad and the stronger person at home. Like there always has to be, in my opinion, when both parents are out, it's a little chaotic and the kids don't get what they need. So I had to miss a lot of things with my kids. And, Bryn 100% got it when she was running the salon. She's like, oh my gosh, I get it now. And my son now, because he's in our industry now, he gets it. He did a talk at the Premiere Orlando, and I got teared up because in his PowerPoint, he showed one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes, because you have to watch those things when you have kids. One of my favorite episodes is when they adopt a clam. Patrick and SpongeBob adopt a clam, and Patrick keeps pretending to go to work because he just wants to get out of the house. And his briefcase is full of donuts. And SpongeBob is at home and he's got like exaggerated bags under his eyes, and he's got the vacuum cleaner going, and he's got curlers in his hair, and he's like holding a baby. He has all these arms doing all these things. And that's what Jack played at the premiere show. And he said, this was my mom. This is how I grew up, with my mom trying to be all things to all people. And something has to give. You can't be all things to all people. So as a salon owner, and I know if you're watching and you're a salon owner, you can relate to, when you're home with your kids, you have guilt that you're not at the salon, and you know that the salon needs your support and your time and attention. When you're in the salon, you feel bad that you're missing things with your kids. And what about their homework? And what about the science project? And what about, oh my gosh, you're a snack mom tomorrow? And what about the school trip money and all the things? And it was like this endless loop in my head at all times of, what ball am I dropping? Where do I need to focus my attention right now? And it is and was exhausting. Here's another one. After welcoming our daughter Billy into the world 4 months ago, my mindset and priorities have shifted. With my beautiful baby girl refusing the bottle, it has made it nearly impossible to return to work and give my salon the dedication, training, and ongoing upskilling that I've prided my business on for the past 7 years. So with that, I have decided to shut the doors to my first baby on the 30th of June. I have not made this decision lightly, but I'm looking forward to having a proper maternity leave and being able to enjoy and spend time with our daughter for the rest of the year with no distractions. You are not losing me forever. I'll be back to provide a personalized luxury one-on-one service when I open my new space closer to home in January. So this person has decided to spend the next year being a mom and taking care of her baby, which I'm very envious of. With my daughter, I had, I believe, 2.5 months of maternity, and then went back, I think, 2 days a week initially. With my son, I had a few days. I had a walkout when my son was born, literally feet in the stirrups, everybody packing their things while I was delivering him. Not one of my favorite moments. Don't like to talk about it a lot because I still get emotional. Not, throwing blame on anybody. Everybody has to make a living and everybody has to do what they have to do, but the timing was awful. And I can never get back that bonding time that you have with your baby in the first few months that every mother should be able to have. So here's the public service announcement. If you are young and have not had your children yet, and you are a hairdresser, please, 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 I do not work for them. I don't get commission from them, but look into Aflac. Aflac, with the little Aflac duck that you see the commercials for, is a gift to our industry. I just saw a post this morning. A friend of mine is having a baby, and she commented in her post, like, you know how it goes. Hairdressers don't get paid for maternity. I'm like, nope, wrong. You should have gotten Aflac before you got pregnant. So if you're pregnant, sorry, it's too late. It's a pre-existing condition and you can't hide it. But if you know you're going to have children and you're working behind the chair for a few dollars a week, you put into this insurance, you will have a proper maternity. I wish I knew about it when I had my children. I did not have a proper maternity. And to this person's point, my salon was my first baby. I opened my salon when I was 22 years old. So my salon was before I got married. It was before I had children. It was my life for a very, very long time. Now I'm blessed, excuse me, to be able to have my salon in Philadelphia and live in Florida, only because I have an absolutely amazing staff that I would never trade for anything. They are amazing. I walked in there this past, when I visited this visit, I walked in and for the first time ever, I didn't have that pit in my stomach of like, oh, why am I here? I don't want to be here. Like, I was like, wow, they are amazing. Like, it looks and feels and acts exactly like it was when I was there and nobody's watching. I've said to them, we don't have cameras. We're not monitoring your every moment. You are adults. Whatever you need, we're a phone call or text away. Just think, what would Elaine do if I'm not here? If there's a decision to be made, just think, you've been around me for over 20 years. You know how I would handle any given situation. And I appreciate that you have, autonomy and you're on your own and you get to do the things. And we're really blessed. That's not normal. Most salons have a lot of drama and a lot of fires to put out. I have Bryn to thank for that. She was there for those 5 years and she set up systems so well. Because I was in the salon every day, I was not a systems led leadership. I didn't have a lot of systems and I never understood the benefit of systems until I saw what Bryn put into place and how you can be hands off if you have the right systems. Those are the kind of things we're going to talk about at the July 28th event. A lot of us run on passion and purpose and drive and all the things that I had, and that's great. But if you're not there babysitting and watching every move and cross-checking every single thing, it's exhausting. You need those systems, you need automations, you need to lean on technology and systems to be able to step back, because here's the problem. I just listened to a fabulous podcast about the state of the industry. And it used to be that salon owners made roughly 10% profit. So if the salon brings in $400,000 for the year, the salon owner, if they have their systems in place and are doing everything correctly, walk away with $40,000. I want you to think about what your salon owner does in a day and what you see them stress about, and think about, would you do all that for $40,000? Most times the reason that the salon owner is doing it is because they too are in there with you, earning a commission along with that $40,000. Most salons, the owner of the salon, excuse me. When my throat gets like that, I think it's the universe telling me to stop talking about that topic. It's trying to save me from myself, but hopefully not. So most owners are the highest producers behind the chair. So their commission on their own services, you may think, oh, well, my salon owner gets 100% of everything she does or he does, then they get the profit. No, it doesn't work that way. Most times you're lucky if you pay yourself commission as if you are one of the staff. So it used to be 10%, which is already low for all the headaches and all the 24/7 wheels in your head of what's going on in your business. Now, currently, the average is 5 to 6%, almost half. So I'm not surprised when I go on social media and see these. I had a small salon for 9 years. I no longer felt challenged. So I opened a large salon. My large salon has been doing great for 20 years. I'm just feeling it now. I've been in this industry for 44 years. I think it's time for me to retire. I'm tired too. So I feel for that salon owner, because I know she is believing that she is going to hand the keys over to the next owner and she's going to walk away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm here to tell you, it's really difficult to sell a salon because, again, most times the owner is the highest producer behind the chair. So the first thing that happens for this person is he or she is going to take away their gross income, the whole amount that they brought into the salon. So say that is, let's just do round numbers, $100,000, which I'm certain that's at least a minimum amount if it's the owner in a salon and the salon is successful. So $100,000 she has brought in. So say the gross of the salon is 400,000, you would think that the valuation of the salon would be on that 400,000. It doesn't go by that. It goes by gross profit, not gross sales. So 6 or 5%, let's just say 5% because I'm terrible at math. So 10% of 400,000 would be 40,000. Half of that is 20,000. So your salon value is based on 20,000 times 2, 40,000. It's difficult to even sell a salon for 40,000 because when that new owner comes in, the whole staff could say, we didn't sign up to work for this person. We're out. We're getting suites. We're going next door. We're going across the street. We're whatever. They can just up and leave whenever they want. And you can't. And now they just changed it where you can't even have non-compete contracts. None of that is valid anymore. It's the wild, wild west. I say it all the time. It is the wild, wild west. I see people creating apps for people going into their homes and doing hair, and there's no regulation. There's no, are they using the proper chemicals? Are they using sanitation? Are they paying taxes? Like everything is just completely loose and frantic. And there's positives to it because I think that the state board was a little bit too, especially Pennsylvania. We couldn't even do solo suites in Pennsylvania up until maybe 2 years ago. So there's a lot of good to it, but there's a lot of bad because the commission salon owner now is really completely held hostage by their staff. If they go to make, a sale of their business and they have this viable, amazing business that is cash flowing and everything's great, that new owner has no guarantee that those people are going to stay. And there's no way to put them into the contract because people have free will. They can work wherever they like. So again, 2 people in almost 40 years that successfully sold their businesses. And both of those people, after they sold their business to someone else, within less than 5 years, the business did not last. It went out of business because that owner was the nucleus, the driving force, the biggest income behind the chair, all of those things. So as an owner, if you even are thinking about retiring in 5 years, that person that I just shared that post, you really have to start to step away from behind the chair and make sure that that business is fully profitable without you. We were able to do that. I was able to train another colorist in a very short time. She did my Hair Color Secrets Insider course. We hired her. She came in. She worked by my side for maybe 10 days, just watching me do my clients, me walking her through, this is how I put a retouch on. This is how I glaze the ends. This is how I section for my highlights. Just one example of each thing. And she has done an amazing job. And she went from $300 paychecks to $4,000 paychecks because she stepped right into my book. We made it work. Again, not an accident. It was all very strategically done with using systems and using automations and using the value of connection and relationship. She came into the salon and she greeted and introduced herself to every single client, whether it was going to be in her chair or not. So these are the things that you have to think about. Don't wait until you're so burned out and you're ready for back surgery or knee surgery or hip replacement or all of the things that are going to be gifts to us for standing on our feet for all of these years. Don't wait until then. And let's go back to Aflac. Have that Aflac so that if you do get a knee replacement or you do get a hip replacement, you get paid for the time that you're off. So you definitely want to plan for tomorrow. Don't keep taking your cash flowing business for granted, thinking that it's always going to be the way that it is. You're one disgruntled employee walkout away from bankruptcy. If you have a salon and you're paying, I just went in to do consultation with a really cool salon that, right now their rent is protected because they took over someone's lease. As soon as that lease expires, it's tripling in price. So right now they're paying under $3,000. It's going to be over $7,000, something like that, as soon as the lease ends. So these are the things that we can't see coming and we have to be ready for. So Carlene said, I've been heavily invested and 2 years out from retiring. Yeah, I hope you're taking these things seriously and really planning for it so that you can have that, right off into the sunset. That was not my experience. And I just, I told my staff, we're going to keep it open as long as you guys are happy doing what you're doing. We're happy with everything. Like, we love that we're able to still provide a place that we didn't have to disrupt anyone, basically. Like, they were all happy. I wasn't. I was the only one. I wanted to move. I would have stayed there until my dying day if I wanted to live where I was living, but I really wanted to find my sunshine and be near palm trees and flowers and sunshine and all the things. And not everybody feels that way, but I did. I talk about it all the time. I have 17 journals where every single journal ended with, I just want to live at the beach. I just want warm weather all year. And I would run and go on vacations and try to find little patches of happy in between lots of ice and snow. And I was like, this isn't, but life is too short. Why am I still here? Like, because I kept saying, I don't want to close my salon. I don't want to close my salon. So I was able to keep the salon open and everybody's happy. And again, it's because of systems and the things we're going to talk about in the Savvy Salon Owner event on July 28th. So if you're just joining me or if you're watching on the replay, we're doing a live virtual event from noon to 5 o'clock on July 28th. It is specifically for salon owners with 2 or more commission employees. It is not good for booth rental, because booth rental is basically a lot of mini suites in one building. So the techniques and the things that we're going to teach you really don't relate to that model. It's definitely specifically for a commission salon to be able to thrive and be profitable in 2024 and beyond using systems and technology. So I hope that you will join us for this event. And as always, I'm so happy to see you here supporting the coffee chat. If you are not a salon owner and you're here and you're like, oh crap, she didn't talk about hair color today, my apologies. I will always go back to hair color. But I'm really excited about this event because nothing like this was there for me as a salon owner who needed a lot of support and did not get it. I would come home and I would dump all of my stress on my husband, who would then stay awake till 4 a.m. staring at the ceiling while I passed out and fell asleep. I would unload everything on him. So it would be stop, dump, go to bed and collapse, wake up the next day, do it again. And then I started to go to therapy and I would dump it on her, and she couldn't help me. She was a therapist. She wasn't in the salon industry. So she would just listen and smile and take notes and say, okay, that's all for today. See you next week. And I'm like, well, this isn't helping at all. Just talking about the same bullshit every single week and not getting an answer of how to change it. I needed sound business advice from people who have lived it and have done it. And that's what we've brought together for you in this event. We have amazing guests that you're going to absolutely love that you may or may not know of. They are going to bring all different topics to you. One being how to properly train new staff. I see a lot of people struggling to get new hires because you're trying to get somebody with a book. Those days are gone. Nobody is leaving their, I shouldn't say nobody. Very few people are going to leave a secure position that they've been in for a long time with a thriving clientele just to move to go work for you. If they're going to take the chance and leave now in today's market, they're going to a solo suite. And when they go to the solo suite, they're already going to lose up to 20% of their clientele because that vibe and that situation is not for everybody. Some clients thrive on the salon vibe and the energy of having a lot of people in the building, and it's not for them, or it may be a little bit further for them to drive, or the parking may not be as good. So there's always that 20% attrition. So they're not coming to you with their full book. Those days were in the late 80s, early 90s, where everybody had commission fights and it was come over here and I'll give you 55%. Oh, I'll give you 58. I'll give you 60. It was like a bad auction with the numbers up in the air. So we all know that didn't work. And most of those salons are now closed because you can't keep giving away commission on profit that you don't have. If you're working at a 6% profit, you can't keep upping the commission just to keep a stylist. So that's why the flow is going where it's once you've maxed out as a commission stylist, the next step is usually the solo suite. So that leaves our commission salons with a lot of chairs to fill and a lot of aggravation and frustration of where are the people? The people are in beauty schools. Like my friend Gary here opened up a beauty school. He is giving back and has purpose and passion for growing the next generation of stylists. Those stylists are getting what they need to pass their test, period. They need someone to mentor them in how to greet a client, in emotional intelligence, how to manage their book, how to manage their life, how to have some sort of work life balance, how to put a retouch on properly and not paint it all over the client's face. All of those things come with strong mentorships. We're going to talk about how you can get someone fresh during their training in beauty school and mold them into your salon culture. That is why I was able to move to Florida, because I took the time to bring that person in who was only doing, she was earning $300 a week working full time. She stepped right into my book because she was properly trained. So we're going to talk about that on the 28th as well. Just filled out the form online twice, both times show. Oh, that's not good. Let me try it. Let me try clicking on it. Speaking of technology, no, it worked for me. It worked for me. Just type in mysalonconcierge.com/savvy with 2 V's -salon. Maybe the link itself is not working for you, Lisa, but it just worked for me. So try again. I hope to see you there. Sorry, my ADD. Cover the gray, not skip around. Carlene, your question says hourly, but I don't know what that is in reference to. So like I said, if you are not the owner of your salon, please share this link with them and recommend that they come. We are also doing an in-person live event that is completely dedicated to commissioned salon owners in November. Save the date for that. I believe it starts on the 10th, November 10th is an in-person in Florida event that's going to follow up this digital event, because we all love to get together in person. It's been a long time, and we want to offer that support in person as well for the commissioned salon owner. So I'm a little bit over as usual. Thank you for listening. I hope to see some of you at this event, and I will be back. Oh, actually, I will not be back here next week. So I have 2 amazing guests taking over the coffee chat next week because I am traveling. I will be out of the country for the week, and they will be jumping on same time, same place. Special guest here on the coffee chat. And I hope that you will show up for them and share with them, share with your other stylist friends to come to the coffee chat. And I will see you on the following Wednesday. So have a great week, and I will see you soon.